today you're joining me on my shed again with all my fishing tackle. I'm going to be talking about pike and perch fishing with lures. I'm forgetting about pike for the rest of the season pretty much until around November, maybe October-ish, because of the pike breeding, and they're quite fragile while breeding. All the females are carrying eggs. So yeah, perch fishing in the summer. So I'll talk about the perch fishing first in the summer. If you're fishing a venue that has pike in the summer, you want a wire trace, like this one, except it'll have a piece for your swivel on your lure to go on rather than a hook that's used for live bait. And yeah, you want small lures like, I can get it, lures like this. Spinners are very good for perch. They like flashy stuff, they like seeing stuff in the water, so you know when that blade's turning around in the summer, you know, light's reflecting off it, that's flashing in the water, the perch see that and they love it. And apparently if you have a red barrel, that turns perch absolutely nuts. That's what an angler told me. They also like this type of lure. Don't even know what it is. Is it a spoon or something? And yeah, you might want to replace the back hook with a single hook, because some of the small perch in the summer find it difficult to see, well no, sorry, not see, like just be able to fit the hook in their mouth. So when they're tapping at the tail, trying to grab the tail, because that's how perch attack their prey, they attack the tail so they can't swim anymore. When they try and grab the hook, they just can't grab it for some reason. It's quite weird. And yeah, you just want small lures like that. And pretty much that's it for perch. You don't really need a wire trace into it unless you think they're a pike going to be maybe attacking your lures. And yeah, you can also probably fish a lure like this, but if you lure fish like jelly lures and stuff like that, I'd fish a small soft plastic kind of finesse stuff, drop shot, small jig heads, wacky rigging a worm or something like that. And yeah, so on to winter fishing basically for pike with lures. What you want to have is big lures, depending on what they are kind of feeding on. If it's still early winter, water temperature's still quite high, you can go for something like, if I can get this off that and this one, go for poppers, stuff like this. You want a light hook wire trace with these, because otherwise the front will sink down and the effectiveness just goes, because that won't pop the water up like that. I like this popper more though, because it has the indented face, so the water goes into there and it really does disturb the swim, and the pike really do hear it. If they're in the lower, stick to the surface actually, or you can use these kind of shallow diving, is it crankbaits, or I don't know really, I just know they're what they do, so I use them for that situation. You can use them kind of things, these propeller type lures, or yeah, you can also use these types of things, these fat crankbaits like that. Perch patterns are quite good for pike, they really do attack perch. And yeah, these ones are also, if I hold the hooks together so that they don't rattle, like this. It's got a rattle in it. This is also another effective pattern for pike. Probably quite good for big perch in the summer as well. Roach pattern, again. Hold the hooks together. Yeah, that has got a rattle and it's just not as effective. Yeah, you want lures like that. If you're fishing on a trout reservoir where there are trout and there's pike, use something that looks a bit like a baby trout. It's a jointed lure, so the back goes kind of like that in the water. Or if you really do want to stick to the bottom, use something like this. Quite a heavy jig. It literally does just nosedive down, and you can jig it like that. Or this is a very fast sinking crankbait. I've taken the top off it. No, the back off it, sorry, because the pike kind of swiped it from the side. And yeah, this does just sink to the bottom, kind of like that, and then it will bump along the bottom, disturb all the silt. The pike will see the silt, a bit like this, perch pattern, and then yeah, they'll think it's a perch in distress. I'm not even sure if this has a rattle. No, that's quite an old lure, it doesn't have one. Another type of lure I've got. These will definitely just sink to the bottom, they're metal. There, it's this. This just spins in the water like that, I don't know why. It probably looks very, very unnatural to any fish, I've never used them. And yeah, I wouldn't really recommend these ones. Don't really like them. You might also want to use jerkbaits. For some reason for pike this is a popular colour. Red at the front, silvery white at the back. I see a lot of lures this colour. Must be something. Very loud rattle on that one. Also, got this kind of old thing that my dad had. He didn't even know what it was. It's kind of like an old popper. It's tangled in some line from last time I used it, because I literally just chucked it in here after a pike session. And yeah, it's kind of like a popper, because it disturbs the surface with that. It floats on the surface. You can use quite a heavy wire trace with this, and it still floats up. I don't know what it is. Also, these are curved, so that does go through the water and kind of disturb the water as well. Yeah, you've got kind of the net again tangled. A lot of my lures are tangled in line. For some reason I don't use lures much for pike fishing, I prefer live baiting, but straight crankbait, it's kind of a minnow lure, and yeah, and no back hook. Still got bad lips. And yeah, that's basically it for lure fishing, but also in winter you might want to use live bait. You'd usually use one of them. I don't like this unless you're using a big live bait, because I only use live baits about that big for the pike on the canal near me. Sometimes one about that big, maybe, roach. But yeah, I usually use small ones, so I only usually use a small float. Like, I wouldn't even use that. I just use a big pellet waggler really. And then if the canal you're fishing on is about 4 foot deep, you want to say it's the float, so it's about 5 foot, so that when the roach is trying to dig down to the bottom, because that's where the pike will be in winter as well, when it's trying to collect down, if your float's too shallow, the roach is swimming down, and if it's lipped hooked, it's basically going down, and then it's then jolted back whenever it pulls the float a bit, if it's small, as in the roach is small, and that'll just basically kill your roach off easier. Another bad float I don't like for live bait fishing. Yeah, and there's dead baiting you can do. I find it's not as effective as live baiting for pike. I don't know why. Really, it's just not as effective. I think because the live bait's searching up the water for you, you just find the pike, or sometimes even perch, a lot quicker, because if you're using a live bait like that, you get some good 2-3 pound perch still attacking your live bait. And if you're going to stick to a swim all day on a canal or something, pike fishing your live bait, a good way of keeping your live bait instead of a bucket is just a small keep net you can keep in a rucksack or something, because that also keeps your live bait in the swim, and basically they disturb, because they panic in the keep net, so they disturb the swim, they're making a lot of noise, it will attract predators into the swim. Because once I pulled this up, I was basically pulling it up like that to get a live bait out, and I just saw some stripes dart away from it. It was about a 2-3 pound perch. So I dropped my rod in, float started going away, hooked it, and of course lost it. Didn't give it enough time because I was just excited, adrenaline a bit. And yeah, but perch fishing in summer, you do want the smaller kind of lures like this. I've got to get a hook on this. Be quite good in summer because it's kind of wavy like that, so it'll go like that because of the water. And yeah, otherwise use something like these lures in here, like that. That's quite good if you're on a trout reservoir, roach kind of representing bait. Just a small shad, perch will like that. They also like ribbed lures with a paddle tail. Even small perch will go for that. Big perch might also go for this. But I'd fish this on a drop shot because if a pike goes for it, they don't really inhale the line just because of the rig. That's mainly for pike. Orange, good colour for perch, pike in winter though. This, you just gonna catch perch. This, your wacky rig, it looks like a worm when you're pulling it up in the water like that. And then yeah, you've got these small jig bodies for a lure. It's the HTO Mace. That's the pink colour, but there's also like a clear colour with little black dots on it. What else is there? There's my favourite colour, orange for perch. They go absolutely nuts for this in winter, I don't know why. They just love the orange colour. I've only ever caught one perch. This time I went out with them, with these lures. Caught a little perch on that. I've caught 4 big perch on this. Pretty sure it was 4. And it was just because, I don't know why, I think they think it looks like a worm or something. Then you also have this little, I don't even know what it's meant to represent, minnow or something like that. And then yeah, that's basically my video now. You also have these little drop shot lures, but if the head comes off, you can still keep them